Oh, what's up, guys? What 360 here. Uh, I'm here to tell you about the new Superman movie. Yeah, let's get started. So, first off, the cons. Ugh, there's not even that many, and they're not even cons. They're more or less nitpicks. So, first off, super suit. The thing that I have a problem with is the lines and the paneling all over the suit. And that is literally it. Suit is perfect. Suit's perfect. It's great. Alright? It's fantastic. Gives off major Richard Donner vibes, Christopher Reeves type shit. Alright? That's always a good thing. If you emulate Superman the animated series or the Christopher Reeves movies, specifically the first and second one, you're goated in my book. Alright? Now, Richard Donner's Superman might not be your perfect rendition of Superman, but like, you know, for me, he's pretty damn close. My perfect rendition of Superman is S-Taz, or Superman the Animated Series. You see, it's like B-Taz, but instead of a B, it's fucking S. Anyways, the point is, panels, lines, no. For me, anyways. All opinions, you can thank PSM. But, anyways, moving on. Second nitpick. Not enough Clark. Not enough Clark Kent in this movie, for me. Clark is a big part of who Superman is. It really shows his humanity. You know, that deep down, Superman is actually just mild-mannered Clark Kent. It's not like Batman, where Bruce Wayne is the mask or whatever, and Batman is his true dominant personality. No, it's completely the other way around. Superman is not the dominant personality. Clark Kent is. Clark Kent will always be a nice, gold-hearted, mild-mannered farm boy. That's who Superman is. He's just a really nice guy who loves doing nice things for people. And I feel like we need more of that. But yeah, again, just a little stupid nitpick. More Clark in the movie would have been good. Anyways, off to the third one. I feel like Lex Luthor, in the later half of the movie, his portrayal of the character kind of declines. I'll tell you why. Because I feel like at the later half of the movie, whenever his plan starts to kind of, you know, unravel, I don't know. Lex Luthor just kind of starts to get whiny a little bit. Just a little whiny. A little whiny. I don't know. It's not a bad thing. Again, these are just nitpicks, not like actual cons or anything. How did I... just... Again, these are only nitpicks. They're not actual cons of the movie. This movie is practically, like, you know... This movie's pretty good. For a Superman movie, this movie's pretty great. Pretty fucking awesome, actually. And I honestly don't think words can describe how much I like this movie. But you know what? We're going to give it a shot. So, here we go. So first off, we're going to talk about Lex. I love Lex. I love Nicholas Hoult. I loved him when he played Beast in the X-Men movies. That was great. That was awesome. He played a character who had a shit ton of hair, and then he went to a character that had no hair. Kind of wild, actually. But anyways, Lex Luthor. Real smart guy. Piece of shit, though. But, you know, you gotta give credit where credit is due. He studied Superman's fight patterns, all his moves, and everything. He made a clone of Superman, combing every fight scene Superman has ever had for the past 3 years. This dude is on that Eobard Thawne timing. He hates Superman so much. Ooh. Jesus. How did he not die from that? How is he not just knocked out? Why is he only dazed from that? That doesn't make any sense to me. Anyways, Lex Luthor. He's a pretty smart guy, but he's a fucking douchebag. And you know what? That's the perfect type of Lex Luthor. That's my Lex Luthor. A piece of shit douchebag, right? But he's really smart. So you gotta give credit where credit is due. You gotta give me my fucking credit. I mean, I'm playing on like the easiest fucking mode right now, but that was pretty fucking clean if you ask me. I got punched like one time. But yeah. But later on in the film, Lex kind of, I don't know, it just kind of shifts down for me. He just kind of, I don't know, he comes off as whiny at the end of the film. This version of Lex is not bad at all, whatsoever. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm just saying it was a little whiny at the end. That's all. But I love the way they deal with his superiority / inferiority complex that he has with Superman. I love their dynamic in this movie. Also, I love that Lex Luthor is the greatest rage baiter of all time. Like when he sips the coffee and he's like, "Oh, the ugly mutt with the cape," or "the ugly dog with the cape," and then Superman's like, "What'd you say?" He's like, "What?" And then here, what are you talking about? I didn't say anything. What are you talking about? And only Superman can hear it because of his super hearing. He like whispers underneath his breath while he's sipping his coffee. It's amazing. It's great. It's fantastic. I love it. I feel like Superman and Lex should always have this dynamic. And it was just great. But the Russian roulette scene though, that was disturbing. It was over a little too quick for me. 2 shots was not enough for a Russian roulette scene. It's usually like either half of all the chambers are gone, or all the chambers except for one bullet, you know, which is the last bullet. You know, it usually goes on for a lot longer, I'm trying to say. And so it kind of shocked me whenever Mally, I can't remember how they pronounce his name in the movie, but the falafel guy, you know, the falafel guy, he died so quick. All he did was help Superman once, because Superman ate his falafel 3 times. He didn't know Superman personally at all. He just made contact with this man. And Lex proves why you, as a normal person, should not, connect with superheroes. Because it might mean you're gonna fucking die at some point. If this certain supervillain has such a hate boner for your favorite superhero, you're probably gonna die. If you have more than one interaction with this superhero, you're probably gonna fucking die. Because this guy's like, man, this guy might know something. He kind of hangs around my rival, like, all the time. You know, oh, he goes to your fucking hot dog stand, like, once a week. There's gotta be fucking some sort of friendship / like, connection with these two. No. Mally was just, like, you know, he's just a normal guy. He was just a normal guy. Doing normal falafel business on the street. He didn't know Superman. He was just friendly towards Superman. And that shit gets you killed. Especially with a crazy motherfucker like this Lex Luthor. No. Leave me out of this. Alright? You know, like, it's like, no. This just shows you. Don't be friends with superheroes, kid. Okay? It'll either get you injured. Did he? How the fuck do you make Batman kneel? Jesus. Anyways, this just goes to show, kids, don't be friends with superheroes. You might end up in a pine box one day, like Mally, the falafel guy. But yeah, he hates Superman so much because of these 2 complexes that he has with the character. And it's unhealthy, and it's great. Is he running away? Why are they running away? Okay, I thought they wanted to fight, but nah, they're not built like that, I guess. talking all that shit in the car. You were talking all that good shit a second ago. Yeah, I think this is probably one of my favorite representations of Lex Luthor. He really hit the nail on the head, you know? Nicholas Hoult, I'm so glad that they got him. Way better than fucking Kevin Spacey from fucking Superman Returns. But anyways, yeah, Lex Luthor, great person. This show really also focuses on Superman's humanity and just Superman as a character and like what he's all about. And I totally agree with the film that is what Superman should be. Like with the kaiju fight, whenever he punches the kaiju too hard and it goes to fall back and it's falling back on a building. Now you see a certain Superman that I'm not going to mention because it's going to get you guys a little riled up. Man of Steel. He probably would have just let it fall on the building and kill all the innocent bystanders inside the building. No, this Superman flies to behind the kaiju. It's called Thing in this movie, by the way, but I am dubbing it Axolotl or Axel. I'm just gonna call the thing Axel. Axel, he catches Axel and pushes him back and rebalances him so he doesn't crush the building. He only leaves a cracked window. And that is literally it. Alright? Saves a dog from being stomped on, right? And then he gets fucking stomped and everything. I don't know. I just feel like this is how Superman should fight, and it shows Superman as a character and how much he considers the citizens who have not evacuated the area, right? Or just people who don't necessarily need them. They don't think they necessarily need to evacuate because they think they're fine, right? He shows consideration for, like, everybody on the field, right? Whenever he's fighting people. Unlike a certain Superman. But yeah. I just think it's great. I feel like this showcases Superman's character to a T. Like, what Superman should be and how he should fight. Whenever... Am I at the fucking clock tower? Yeah, good job, I just feel like this is how Superman should and always... Like, I just feel like this is how he should always fight. So, anyways, moving on. This show really gives me Superman the Animated Series vibes, like, a lot. If you've seen the show, you know what I'm talking about. Not going to go into further detail there. I don't want this video to be like a whole hour long. Like the fucking last one. So, Ma and Pa Kent, or Jonathan and Martha. They were great. I loved Martha Kent's rural hick accent. It was great. Alright, balloons. Batman. Anyways, Jonathan and Martha, they were great. I feel like this should be... I feel like these versions of the characters should be the base for these characters whenever you're doing an adaptation. Either that or take it from the comics or Superman the Animated Series, because they're just god tier. I don't know what to tell you, man. They're just perfect almost. They're damn near perfect adaptations of the Kents. Like, I really don't know what else to tell you, bro. I loved Crypto. Crypto was great. Crypto, he's such a good boy. He's just like my dog, Albert. No, you fucking thought? I had my hands off the controller and everything. I was looking at my dog. My beautiful, beautiful boy. Oh, buddies. Oh, you stretch it. Buddy. Yeah, my beautiful buddy. And my beautiful Dina. Athena is her name. Ow! You guys see I'm not paying attention? Fucking rude. Anyways, Crypto, he just reminds me of my dog. And I love him. I love Crypto. I'm gonna get I'm gonna get my dog, Albert, a fucking Superman collar now because of this movie. That's how serious it is. I'm gonna get my dog a Superman collar. Tag and everything. Just because I watched this movie and Crypto is in it. Thank you, James Gunn. Alright, let's talk about the Justice Gang. Yeah, so Green Lantern. I love Nathan Fillion. And that's all I'm going to say about him. Guy Gardner is definitely not my favorite Green Lantern. John Stewart is my favorite Green Lantern. And I can't wait to see him in the DCU, if he ever pops up. If he ever pops up. I hope there are, I hope we get a Green Lantern movie where it introduces John Stewart. We're probably gonna get a Hal Jordan movie first, or something like that. I don't know. That'd be cool. That'd be funny if Ryan Reynolds was Hal Jordan again. Jesus Christ. But yeah. So that's my thoughts on Green Lantern. Green guy, not my favorite Lantern, but he was great in this movie. I loved it whenever he went to go fight in the war while Superman was a little occupied, so to speak, getting his ass handed to him by the engineer and Ultraman. So, yeah, he did a damn good job. He flipped off the Varavian army. He turned his ring on, or whatever, however it worked. Is he running at me with a bat? What are you doing, bro? Who does bro think he is? Jesus. Gut shot. Yeah. Not my favorite Green Lantern, but he did a great job. I like I like Guy a little better now. He's a little more tolerable in this movie, and I like that. James Gunn took what would most likely be no one's favorite Green Lantern, and he made me a fan. All right, he made me a fan of Guy Gardner. I'll say that. Hawk Girl, she's also great. Her actress, I can't remember her name, but she's in a movie called Instant Family. I'm pretty sure it also has Mark Wahlberg in it. It's about this couple that goes and, adopts like 3 kids, I think. Yeah, 3 kids, a girl, a boy, and I think another girl. I don't know, but it's a really funny movie. I feel like you guys should go watch it. Really funny. But yeah, I've seen her in a couple other things. Oh, she was also in The Last Night, that one Transformers movie that nobody talks about. Kind of over there with Age of Extinction and kind of the whole Bayverse films, except for the first one. But yeah, she did a great job. I like this version of Hawk Girl. The Joker. Not the director. I like this version of Hawk Girl, but my favorite will always be the one from Justice League, the animated series. Now, Mr. Terrific, on the other hand, he's my favorite one out of the Justice Gang. Jesus. Okay, it's not okay, the name is not half bad, but, like, hopefully it gets changed to the Justice League at some point. But yeah, Mr. Terrific, out of the 3 Justice Gang members, is my favorite. He gets the most screen time out of all 3 of them, and I think that was for the better, because not a lot of people know about Mr. Terrific. Nobody knows that he be balling like that, bro. The T-Spears? Shit, man. Mr. Terrific, let's just say, he's terrific. Alright? That's why he has the name Mr. Terrific. Because he's just built like that, man. I don't know what else to tell you. He's just great. He's terrific. It's the only other way I can put it. So yeah, Justice Gang, goated. Ultraman, goated. Ultraman was so good. I knew it was gonna be like a Bizarro clone type thing from the beginning, but you know what? That didn't even ruin the shock value. Not really the shock value, just the surprise that, oh my god, it's David Corn Sweat. I thought it was gonna, I honestly thought it was gonna be like a misshapen person underneath the mask. And I also liked to play with the idea that they were gonna do, like how in Red Sun, in Superman Red Sun, Lex Luthor makes a clone of Superman, calls him Superior Man, and then pumps him with this, like, I don't know what it is, but Superior Man runs off of this energy, and Lex pumps too much in, and he just kind of, he just kind of starts, like, losing it. He just gets dumber and dumber, and he can't form coherent sentences. It's just sad. I don't know. I don't know. I just kind of played around with that a little bit. I thought Lex was gonna juice up Ultraman because Ultraman would get the shit beat out of him one time, and Lex would be like, "Man, you're pretty much a fucking failure." And you know what? That makes me a failure too. So I'm not okay with that. So I'm gonna make you a little bit stronger. And it gives him this shit, and then it makes him Hulk out, and he rips out of his Ultraman suit, and it looks like Doomsday. He's like just big as shit. He's just built like Doomsday. I don't know what else to tell you. He's just built like Doomsday. And I thought I actually wouldn't have minded if they went that route, but I like the route that they went instead, where they just had him be this generic clone of Superman. I feel like that's a lot better than the idea I just came up with. But other than that, Ultraman, goated. Almost every character in this movie was goated, except for the president of Baravia. That guy is utter slime. He's just straight scum. I don't like that guy. The actor, he did a great job. He did a great job. It was terrific. And honestly, I can't wait for this universe to expand further. I really liked it, and that's about it. See ya.